So one of the other things you guys mentioned you were struggling with in the ebook was attacking cover four, and cover four, um, if they don't base align, really shouldn't give you any problems. But I'm going to show you both ways. Right. So first and foremost, the main play I like to use is this Saints halfback swing when I know cover four is coming. But just to show you that you can still throw this with Y out halfback swing if they simply press, right? If they press, they set up their little blitz, the blitz look. As long as they aren't base aligned, you can still throw this route to this left-hand side. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you normal setup. But basically, you just want to drift a little bit to the left and throw this pass down into the outside. You'll see that he's going to break underneath the quarter zone. It's going to be easy completion. So you see, boom. Now, if you throw it right away, obviously that's going to get picked off. But once he crosses the face of this defender, you can throw a pass down into the outside, and they're not going to be able to make a play on this. You'll get your 2 feet in, it'll be a completion. Now, I do like to throw this to the wide side of the field, right? So, if I'm expecting and I'm facing a lot of cover 4, I always throw it to the wide side. All right, so here we're on the wide side. We're going to go back to Y out halfback swing. Same setup. Once again, if they're not base aligned, if they're not base aligned pressed, I should say, you'll be fine. And it doesn't matter if they got clouds, whatever they have with their hook zones. So you'll see, once again, you just kind of want to drift to the outside, and as soon as he crosses the face, you're going to throw the outside and downward pass. And then you obviously want a possession catch it. Now, the counter to that would be to baseline press. So this will do a decent job at stopping it. Now, it's not foolproof by any means, right? So can you still fit this in there? Yes. But it does become a little bit more risky throw. So you'll see, I'm going to try to do the same thing. See, corner's there to kind of make a play. Now, if they're doing that, if you see a ton of baseline press, I like to attack this in 2 different ways, right? So if I know they're baseline press like this, they have no zones essentially guarding the middle of the field, right? So I throw a ton of low ball hitches when I see this look. But say you want to throw the corner out, right? Say you need the big play, you want to throw the corner out. They're utilizing this coverage to take that route away. The counter to that is to streak the outside left receiver, and then this is the setup that I go with. I put a drag on the A receiver, I put a hitch on the B receiver. So I'll have a drag, a corner, and a hitch. You want to motion the streak out a little bit, like the ball. You'll see now that this corner out is just as wide open as before, if not even more wide open. So you're going to utilize the streak and the motion out to counteract the baseline press look out of a cover 4. So I'm going to go to instant replay, then I'm going to show it to you one more time. But it's going to work like this every single time. The streak that is motioned out will take the deep zone away. You'll be able to throw this corner out underneath it for an easy gain of whatever that is, 15, 20 yards, if not more. So that's the first one. Now, if you want to do a different route combination, you can. So you can leave you don't need the drag, is basically what I'm saying. You can still do this backside flat speed out combination, just to say they're going to take their safety or their linebacker, whoever, and sprint straight over there to go to the corner route. You can still have the routes on the backhand side. But yeah, basically the streak and the motion out is going to counteract the baseline press look. It might help if I actually do baseline press. But you'll see that streak route's going to get deep. You'll be able to throw the corner out every single rep. So yeah, that's that. Now let's talk about another way that I like to attack cover 4. And you can do this to both sides, middle of the field, outsides. It doesn't really matter. But the play Saints halfback wheel, basically what I like to do is I like to have one route running receiver run route chem receiver. Obviously with the Patriots, everybody has that ability. But the setup is going to be this. You're going to put one of the slot receivers on a post. You're going to streak the opposite slot receiver. And then the X and the B receiver are completely up to you. You can put them on zigs if you think it's going to be man coverage. You can put them on hitches if you think it's going to be zone or a blitz. You can put them on flat routes. Flat routes are something that I use a lot when facing non-man blitzes, just because you can throw them right away. Most people typically don't have hard flats out there. So, main setup though is probably going to be the 2 hitches, and you'll notice whether it's baseline pressed or non-baseline and just press, any sort of cover 4 with this outside quarter zone, it will not guard that post route. So you'll see this Y receiver runs right underneath that zone. So you can do it to both sides, right? So that was to Y. This time I'll do it to Edelman, the A receiver. Once again, that's baseline press. Doesn't matter what zones they have out there, hard flats, cloud flats, none of that stuff really matters. Basically, as long as you get a little bit of time, you'll be able to throw this over the top of all the zones. Just the way that works. So last but not least, let's talk about just a regular press cover 4. If you see this, it works the same way. There we go. And you can leave the drags like I mentioned. You don't need to put them in something else. But you'll see the cover 4 has no shot at stopping that post route. And it doesn't matter what side of the field you're on. Doesn't matter hash marks, none of that stuff.